How you doing, everybody? It's Thursday, June 21st, and I have, of course, as usual, always have something to talk about. So today I want to talk about family. If you have a family member in need of something, in need of help, in need of a helping hand, how far are you willing to go to help them up out of their situation? Are you willing to sacrifice your own happiness? Are you willing to sacrifice um, the happiness of your home? Um, to what lengths are you willing to go before you lose it? Before you say, I've had enough? I had a long conversation with Chris Howard again today on the phone, and I lost my cool yesterday. I said a lot of things really loud that I shouldn't have said, and it's caused an upset in my house. I blew up as a result of probably something that was extremely minor that I shouldn't have blown up about. I should have walked away, thought about it, and came back and had a adult discussion about the issue. Instead, I lashed out, caused a big stink, and it was very uncalled for. So this morning I had a long conversation with, like I said, with Chris Howe, and we talked about forgiveness and acceptance. Um, God has planted within us a pathway to be followed. Um, that pathway is very hard to follow. It takes a lot of strength, a lot of courage, a lot of forgiveness, a lot of understanding, patience, a number of different words that I could sit here and rattle off all day long. But the biggest thing it takes is courage to be the bigger person and to not let little things get in the way as they sometimes do. We tend to let little things get to us that shouldn't. We tend to let people get to us when they shouldn't. Um, there is no limitation to how many times you should forgive someone, and there's no reasonable cap that you can put on helping someone. The thing is if you're going to be forgiving and helpful, you need to be forgiving and helpful across the board. You need to be consistent. You can't just help one person and not help another. As tough as it may be for you to expect someone to have forgiveness and acceptance, you also have to have it yourself. And when that gets forgotten is when problems arise. So the hardest thing about accepting God into your heart, and the hardest thing about accepting God into your life, and the hardest thing about being able to follow the path that's been laid down for you is there's a series of doors. There's doors, all the way across. The thing you have to find is you have to find the door that's open for your path. Make sense? So there's 100 doors out there. There's 1,000,000 doors. There's there's one door that is your path. It's your pathway to acceptance. It is your pathway to forgiveness. A lot of men are too big to be. They're too strong to be emotional. They have stainless steel hearts. They don't want anyone to see them emotional. They don't want anyone to see them cry because they think it makes them less of a man. Sorry, I had a wicked cough that won't go away. It takes more courage to show your soft side and to walk in your faith than it does to stand up and just be one of those guys, be part of a group. To be a leader, not a follower, takes a lot more courage. To be a leader takes a lot of personal fortitude. We are all the leaders or presumed leaders of our homes. We're all the presumed leaders of whatever positions we're in. And we also think that we are the presumed leaders of those positions. Some of us are just fooling ourselves. Some of us have never figured it out. Some of you have never figured it out. Some of you will never figure it out. I'm 46 years old, and I think almost 46. And I think I'm on the pathway to figuring it out. Probably the hardest part about figuring it out is trying to stop your mouth and realize your mistakes before you produce the mistake. Trying to check yourself before the fact, not let it happen and then check yourself. I find myself not wanting to hear curse words as much, not wanting to hear stories of passing out drinking. You're just not fancying listening to people's sinning ways. Can't get rid of that cough. Kept me up all night last night. A lot of stuff I'm seeing on Facebook is a huge turnoff. And I'm not preaching to anybody. I'm just putting a message out there. And if you want to hear it, you want to watch this, you go right ahead. If you don't, if it doesn't turn you on, I'll have different content later. I'll give a little bit of everything to everybody. I'll probably do another video tonight and talk about some other things. But right now, this is just something I needed to talk about because I made a mistake. And I don't know how to right that mistake. And I don't know how to go forward through the mess that I've let be created. So I call upon my spiritual advisor, my friends, my whoever I can to try and talk through these situations. And I will continue to do so as best I can. And hopefully I get it figured out before, it's too late. Yeah, it's just nagging me. But anyways, so remember, if you watch it, like it. If you like it, share it. If you share it, you might as well subscribe to it. Peace out. I'm Delmer Wood.